I think another important point is the difference between discipleship evangelism and just getting people to say the words, which of course is important, for them. If it's a genuine commitment and a genuine conversion, of course, they have to confess with their mouth that Jesus is Lord. But also we're commanded to make disciples of all people. So we have to follow through when God is working in someone's life. It's important to invite them to church where they can be ministered to, hear the gospel, and become part of a local fellowship. And it's follow through. Follow through is important.
Yeah, the Orthodox Presbyterian view of evangelism is that it happens through planting churches for the most part. You start new churches and you bring people into the church that way, and people are converted and they're brought to faith in Christ and they're discipled, as Mike was saying. They're taught to follow after Christ. And so that's kind of how evangelism is done in the OPC. Not to dismiss personal evangelism, obviously that's where it begins, but you can't just convert somebody then leave them sitting out there in the woods, and figure things out from there.
It even sounds ridiculous. You want to build a fellowship with you and build the church. Absolutely.
Yeah, bring them
that makes. Yeah. So say the person gets saved, then you guys go save the next guy together. So he gets like an internship or something.
Right. Yeah.
Until you can build a study and then a church.
Yeah. What was the verse you started with, Rich? The teaching them
to observe all that I commanded you. Matthew 28. Teaching them to observe all that I commanded you.
Yeah.
And lo, I'm with you always, even to the ends of the earth.
So, yeah, discipleship. Yep.
Yeah. So that's how evangelism takes place, by teaching others, and a little bit here and there. As I mentioned, I've gone to the counters when I was single and didn't have other responsibilities. I would sit at a counter at the diner and yuck it up with the guys there, and eventually get into conversations, spiritual conversations, moving a lot of times from auto mechanics to faith in Christ and so forth. So, the different ways in which you can look for opportunities like that. But anyway, be around people is another big deal. If you're not around people, if you're always by yourself, well, you're probably not going to be too effective in personal evangelism unless you're doing things like the internet and preaching and that sort of thing.